Okay, I think you should be able to hear me now. If not, then we've got some problems. Hopefully you can hear me. Okay, that's one. And the next one is this one. Okay, right. Let's move my stuff out of the way. And we should be live. If all is going well. Excellent. Sorry if I'm a little bit slow at the moment. We can hear you. Excellent. Cool. Right. I'm still just setting up a little bit. So apologies for that. And we are doing portrait for the first time. So we're doing vertical for the first time, which is exciting and also nerve-wracking. I'm just going to adjust everything so it's all sitting happy. And then we can do some revision, which will be good. Right. So how long we got until 5 o'clock? Not too long. Right, 5 o'clock. Excellent. Okay, so the way we did this before paper one is we decided what sort of grades are we looking for, and it will be just sort of majority rules. So if you say in chat what grade you're looking at doing, that would be really helpful. Otherwise, what I'll do is I'll sort of hover around grade 4, because that is perfect for both papers. So if anyone on TikTok can say hi or something, that would be really useful. Although they don't know if there's any concurrent. Okie dokie. And trying to get the chat on thingy bob, but it's not really working, which is really annoying. So I can only get it in that one. Sorry about the setup, but you know, it is what it is at the moment, sadly. Right. I've got my stuff there, which is good. Okay. Wow, okay, so there's a lot of grade 8 here. Okay, cool. We can start there. So what we've got is like a randomizer. And you might go, well, hang on, I'm not doing AQA or Edexcel, whatever. But what we're going to be doing is we're going to be doing... so I'm not going to do anything that is just on AQA, Edexcel, Eduqas, OCR. I'm going to only do things that cover all 4 exam boards. So, for instance, Eduqas does questionnaires, no one else does. Or Edexcel does frequency polygons. I don't think anyone else does. So we're only going to stick on the topics that are on all of the exams. And what was it? Grade 8 we want to do. Though I think it mucks up my thing if I go too quickly here. So, right. Oh my goodness. Like, nice easy one to start us off, yeah? Who doesn't love a cone, eh? Or is that just me? Alright. So, let's start off with a cone question, apparently. So the cone has a radius of x centimetres, perpendicular height of x plus 2. So they've bunged some nice algebra in there. And a slant height of 16.4 centimetres. Show that x satisfies the equation of that. Calculate the volume of the cone. You must show your working. Okay. So there's quite a lot to do here. So what have we got in the question, first of all? Well, if I draw it here, we've got a right angle triangle. And what do we know about right angle triangles? Well, we know that right angle triangles are connected with trigonometry or Pythagoras. There's no angles in this question at all, so it's just going to be a nice and straightforward Pythagoras question. And we need to create this from the information here. So we're going to do like a squared plus b squared equals c squared, but in this case it's x squared here plus this squared equals the one opposite the right angle, the hypotenuse, which would be 16.4 squared. Next we need to square 16.4, which I'm assuming is 132, right? And we need to expand the brackets. So we're going to have x squared plus, and you can expand the brackets by writing them twice, right? So x plus 2 brackets x plus 2. Okay, and I'm just going to keep scrolling down so it keeps it nice and central. So we have x plus 2. I'm going to just show it in here because it's a bit easier. And I'm assuming 16.4 squared is 132.48. And we've got x squared plus, and then we've got x times x. Oh, close the bracket. X times x is x squared. 2x plus 2x is 4x. 2 times 2 is 4. Equals 132.48. And then we've got x squared plus x squared, which is a bit of a problem, really. Because that's not... Oh, okay. Oh, I see what's going to happen. Yeah. So I should have used my calculator because we're going to halve everything, aren't we? So I'm going to use my calculator. Yeah. Get too confident, don't I? I got confused there because I was like, we're going to end up with 2x squareds. That's going to be a problem, right? So 2x squared plus 4x plus 4 equals, and it's like 268.96. This is confident way of starting, isn't it? Okay, and we're going to take away the 268.96 from both sides. So we're going to do 4, take away that number. And we've got 2x squared plus 4x minus 264.96 equals 0. And then we're just going to halve everything, right? And so we're just going to halve everything. You might think, oh, halve both sides. No, you've got to halve all the terms, right? So we've got to halve everything here. So it's x squared plus 2x minus 132.48 equals 0. Oh my goodness me. That's a good one to start. So I'm just going to read the chat. I've got to go down here to read it. So grades 4 to 5 is the next one. Okay, so we'll go back to grade 8 in a bit. And we'll go to get some nice grade 4 to 5. So we do grade 4. Oh my goodness, right. So many wordy questions in this, isn't there? Right. So Lucy bought a car 9 years ago for £12,250. The car depreciated. Now, depreciated means went down in value, right? That's what depreciate means. by 18% in the first year. In each of the following years, her car depreciated by 15% of its previous year's value. By how much has the car decreased in value in the last 9 years? Right. So first thing to do is when something goes down by 18%, you need to find the multiplier. And to find the multiplier, you always start off with 100%, always. Take away the 18%, and you end up with, was it 82%? Now, that's not a multiplier yet. To make it a multiplier, you divide by 100. You make it into a decimal, right? So divided by 100, 0.82. Now, this is our magic number. If you times anything by 0.82, it will reduce it by 18%. Now, for the following years, it's down by 15%. So we're going to do the same things again, 100%. Going to take away the 15%, and we're going to have 85%. We're going to make that into a multiplier by divided by 100. Nice and easy. And that will be 0.85. Sweet. So we've got our two multipliers, and we've got our amount in the question. So we just get the amount, 12,250. And we're going to times it by the 0.82 for the first year. And then it's for 9 years, right? So we've got to do 8 0.85s. Now we could do 0.85 times 0.85 times 0.85, or we can just simply do it to the power of 8. So with my calculator now, I'm going to do 12,250 times 0.82 times 0.85, and then the x with the little square. Right, so it looks like that with a little square. Okay, you're going to press that button and then put an 8. Right, sweet. And so when we do that, we get equals 2737.1673, blah, blah, blah. Now, we've got to be really careful because it is money. And if it is money, then we have to do it to 2 decimal places, right? So we're just going to scroll down. And so our answer will be £2,737.17. Sweet. Right, I'm going to look for chat again to see what we want. Yeah, sorry if they're a bit blurry. So this is the problem with doing the paper portrait. It just is what it is. I'm giving it a go, see how it goes. What I'm going to try and do is read out the question, because my writing should be bigger, if that makes sense. So if I read out the question, it should be all right. Right, anyone else? So we wanted some high grades. So I'm going to go back to high grades, but if you want lower grades, let me know. There was sort of grade 7. Okay, this is a horrible one. So I'm really likely to make mistakes with this one, so that would be funny. Let me just set up, make sure everything's ready. Yeah, all right. Yeah, I'm very likely to muck up on this, so you let me know when I do it. Sasha and Taylor each have a stamp collection. They organise their stamp collections according to where the stamps came from: United Kingdom, European Union, or other. The table shows the number of stamps in each collection and the ratio of UK to EU to other. Okay, so this is this little bit here and this little bit here. And we've got Sasha's collection. Oh, I went back too far there. Got Sasha's collection and we've got Taylor's collection. When they put two stamp collections together, when they put the two together, Sasha and Taylor claim that at least 2/3 of all the stamps come from the UK. Are they correct? Okay, so we've got to work out like UK and other. Okay? That's what we've got to work out. So for Sasha, UK would be 9 and other would be 5, right? And for Taylor, UK would be 8 and other will be 3. Now we've got the actual amounts here. So what we can do is we can add these parts together. So we've got 14 parts for Sasha, and we've got 11 parts for Taylor. And what we can do is we can do for... So we'll do Sasha here, actually. We get the amount, 1,638. And we're going to divide that by 14 to find out how much each part is worth. Get my calculator out. 1638 divided by 14 is 117. Okay. And we've got 9 of the parts are UK. So we can times that by 9. Actually, I don't think we need to do this step at all. I don't think you need to know the number of stamps for this question. But anyway, we'll do it anyway. So UK is 1,053, and then other, which includes the EU, is 5 times 117, which would be 585. Right. Actually, we do need to work out the actual amounts. So 660 divided by the 11 we found out. So 660 divided by 11 is 60. And so UK, we'll go times that by 60, go times the 8 by 60, and we've got 480. Then other, go do 60 times 3, which is 180. So in total, the UK is 1053 plus 480, which is, so UK total. I'm going to scroll down just to help see it. UK total is 1533, and then other total is 585 plus 180, and other in total is 765. And we want to find out what fraction of them came from the UK. So it would be 1,533 over the total amount. So 1533 plus 765. Which would be 2298. Okay, so it'd be that. Okay, and then we need to convert that into a fraction. I don't know. Well, we'll work at that as a decimal. Actually, that's going to be way easier because we know what 2/3 is. 0.6 recurring, right? 2298, and so that's 0.667. Blah blah blah. So the answer would be yes, they are correct, because 0.667 blah 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 are from the UK, and that obviously is more than 0.66, so we know it is. Sweet. Right, let's have a look and see what you're asking for. That was nice, grade 7. I agree. So the way that the system works is it splits up the foundation paper and the higher paper into sort of equal distances of grade. So it would be sort of, for the higher paper, it would be grade 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So it could be that there's a really wordy grade 9 later on that's pushing us more into sort of grade 5, grade 6 territory. But it's definitely a higher paper. What else do we want to do? So that on TikTok, there's a delay of about, I don't know how long the delay is, about 5 seconds, 10 seconds. On YouTube, it's like ages. The delay is very, very long. Ooh. So the delay is quite lengthy on YouTube. All right. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to try and... sorry, just bear with me 1 second. There we go. Yeah, I'm just going to keep a thing open for that so I can see. Yeah, the delay really is not very long. Okie dokie. So what grade do we want to do? I think do grade 7. So we want to do another grade 7. I forgot what the shortcut is for refresh. V refreshes. There we go. Now here we've got a table of medians, interquartile ranges, and ranges. So interquartile range is the distance between the quartiles. The range is the biggest takeaway, smallest, and the median is put them in a list and find the middle one. Using the data, which statement must be true? Okay. So it's quite, and you go only tick one box. So we probably do this process of elimination. Men had a higher average. Well, men actually had a smaller average. So that's not going to be correct. Men had more consistent scores than women. So consistency is to do with having a lower range. The lower the range you have, the more consistent. If you look here, the men were smaller for the interquartile range and they're smaller for the range. So that's our big tick. Let's check the other one. Women had the highest score. We don't know that. And a man had the lowest score. Again, we don't know that. I'm going to sneeze in a sec. I don't know if there's I haven't set up a sneeze guard. Oh, I'll be all right. I'll sneeze later. Plenty of time. Okay, that was the easy grade 7, wasn't it? So let's try another one. Maybe we'll go through it. Oh, we don't want to do another box plot. Actually, here we are. Okay. So Sammy's trying to work out the exact value of y using Pythagoras' theorem. Here is her working. What error has she made in her working? Right. So we have a squared equals b squared plus c squared. A squared's correct, and then b and c can be either way around. It doesn't matter. 6 squared is 36. 8 squared is 64. Here we go. So 2y squared is 2y times 2y, right? Or 2 times y times 2 times y. 2 times 2 is 4. Y times y is y squared. So that should be 4y squared. That's nice. That's nice, that one. Kai works out that y is 5. Mel says y can't be 5 because hypotenuse should be the longest side and the other sides are longer than 5. Is Mel correct? So y can't be 5, but it's 2y. 2 times 5 is 10. So no, not correct because 2 times 5 equals 10, which is longer, or words that effect. Right, let's check. Where can I revise paper 2 topics? Maths Genie is non-calculator for the majority. Paper 2 topics, obviously I'm going to flog on maths. We've got papers that are specifically paper 2. In fact, if you put in your exam board, you get a predicted paper for just the exact exam board that you are doing. And predicted papers are fantastic for some practice. So as part of your revision tonight, either do on maths predicted paper or whichever one you stumble across. Do not pay for them, though. There are people out there who charge astronomical amounts of money to buy them. Don't. It's never worth it. But the paper 2 predictions from a free, reputable source will always be applicable for the type of paper you're about to do. Right, let's check if there's any other questions. Yeah, sorry. So the actual questions are blurry, and the reason for that is I've tried to do a compromise between fitting as much on the screen as I can. What isn't blurry is me writing. So what I'm going to try and do is read out the question every time, okay? So I will be reading the questions out. Right. I don't see anyone else suggesting grades other than grade 7. Sorry, I know I'm talking away, but I've got my chat over there somewhere. So I don't see anyone going for anything other than grade 7. So I'm just going to keep doing grade 7 until someone tells me otherwise, right? We've done percentages already, so I'm going to re-roll. Okay, what the heck is this one? I love these questions you come across and you absolutely have no idea what it's even asking you to do. The diagonal of a rectangle. Okay, so that's always good to start off with what it is. And it's a rectangle, so I'm going to make it like that. So I'm going to do a pink one here. The diagonal of a rectangle is 23.7, so 23.7 centimeters long. The diagonal makes an angle of 52 degrees, 52 degrees, with a side length of x. Okay, so we've got a right angle triangle here, haven't we? So what you can do here is you can just move. Oh, don't want to move that. I can move this. It's probably going to move the whole lot. Okay, that was silly. Let's just write it again. So we can move this here. So 23.7. And this is just trigonometry, isn't it? So let's draw it out again, but just with the right angle triangle. And maybe make it a bit bigger. This is so dodgy. What dodgy triangle? Okay, so we've got x. Oh, click the right one. So we've got x here. We've got 23.7, and we've got 52 degrees. So step 1, label the sides. So hypotenuse is opposite the right angle. The opposite is opposite the marked angle, and the adjacent is between the marked angle and the right angle. Step 2, cross out the one you don't want. So hypotenuse in this case. And we're left with O and A. Next step, write SOHCAHTOA, SOHCAHTOA, and pick the one that's using the two letters that you've got. O and A are the two letters, so it's going to be Ka. Next step, write cos, the angle, which is 52, equals the adjacent, which is x, over the hypotenuse, which is 23.7. And then we're just going to solve it. Now, this is quite a nice, easy one, because if we put our lines in, you can see all you need to do is times 23.7 both sides. Times 23.7, 23.7, and we've got x equals, let's get my calculator out, cos 52, and always make sure you close the bracket, right? Cos 52, close bracket, times 23.7. Otherwise, it will do cos, the answer of 52 times 23.7, right? And we've got 14.591, blah, blah, blah. And it doesn't say to any degree of accuracy, so I'm going to do 14.59 and 2 decimal places. Sweet. Right, let's check chat. Yeah, cos 52, close bracket. Well done, TikTok. TikTok are on it. Is it just me? It is higher. We're doing higher foundation, whatever you want. We can go down to grade 1. We can go up to grade 9. You tell me in the chat. I will do that grade. Let's have a look at YouTube. Can you do grade 4? All right, grade 4. Sweet. Let's do it. So grade 4 is guaranteed to be on both papers, right? Guaranteed. Oh, my goodness. I remember this one. Right. So the length of this rectangle is 6 times the width. So we've got 6x and we've got x. Okay. 2 of these rectangles are joined with no overlap to make this L shape. Right. Let me just set up one sec. 27. Sweet. Cool. So what we can do straight away is know that this is going to be x, this is going to be 6x, this is going to be x, this is going to be 6x. We've got an x up here, and the full width is 6x. This is going to be 5x, this is going to be 6x, and this is going to be x. So I've not even read the question, and I've probably already answered it. Right, the perimeter of the L shape is 98.8. Work out the value of the perimeter of one of the rectangles. Okay, so you've got to do a couple of things here. So whenever you have questions like this, you're going to be able to work out the perimeter as algebra, and you're going to be able to work out the perimeter or area, or whatever the question's about, as a value. So as a value, it's 98.8. As algebra, it is x plus 6x. I'm going to cross them off as I go, right? Plus 5x. I'm totally going to run out of room here. This was poor planning. Plus x. Though what I can do is I can just sort of move it across a little bit. Or shrink it. Oh, there we are. Didn't even know I could do that. That's probably not helping with people who are having trouble seeing it. But anyway. Plus x. Plus 6x. And plus 7x, right, at the end. Sweet. So how many have we got? We've got 7... Well, hang on. Let's do it simply, right? So we've got 1, 2, 3, and then add that on 8, and then add 18. What's that? 26. I'm hoping it's 26. What have we got? 26. I'm going to go for 26. Confidently. 26x equals 98.8. Oh, I'm going to do it on a calculator because I'm worried I'll go wrong. 1 plus 6 plus 5 plus 1 plus 6 plus 1 plus 6. 26. Sweet. So the other thing to mention, right, if you know you've got a calculator, okay, then make darn sure to use it, right? Right. Actually, I'm going to put my lines in now. I've put an equals. I don't want the equals yet because what we've got to do is show the examiner that we're going to divide both sides by 26. And so we've got x equals, and then 98.8 divided by 26, which is 3.8. Whenever you get a nice easy number like that, you're probably thinking, yeah, I've probably got this right. Okay, that's probably going to be 2 of the 4 marks. You might be wondering, well, hang on, we've answered it. No, it didn't say to solve. It said find the value of the perimeter of one of the rectangles. So one of the rectangles, if we go back up to the top, is 14x. So one of the rectangles is 14 times x. We know that x is 3.8, so it's going to be 14 times 3.8. Again, use the calculator. You've got it, use it. And that will equal 53.2. 53.2 is full macaronis. Right. How do you recognize the difference between cosine and sine rule? Okay, let's go to a blank piece of paper. Okay, so if you've got like a situation where you've got, if I've done these right, big B, little b, right, if you've got a situation where you've got an angle and a length and an angle and a length, right, that are opposite, and that's the important thing, is they're opposite each other, but one of them is unknown, right, that's the sine rule. If you've got a situation where you've got 3 lengths, right, in any angle, it doesn't matter which one, okay, one angle, 3 lengths, where one of them's unknown, that's the cosine rule, okay? So when you've got 2 pairs of angles and lengths that are opposite each other, sine rule. 3 lengths and an angle, cosine rule. Sweet. And any of them can be unknown, so it could be that you're looking for the angle, it could be you're looking for one of the lengths. If you've got those situations, you're sorted. Are you only doing grade 4? No, I am doing the grades that you're suggesting. So someone suggested a grade 4, I did a grade 4. What was the next one? I can't do topics, so what we're doing is we're doing random grade questions. So you tell me the grade, that's what we'll go for. How long are you doing live stream? I'm planning on doing it till 7. I tried it earlier on TikTok, and it kicked me off because I didn't have my face on it. I don't know how to put my face on it. But if you go to TikTok now, you can see my face. On YouTube is faceless. It has a big onmaths logo there at the bottom, which is, pretty cool. If you go to onmaths.com now, you can do a free prediction for your exam board. Edexcel, AQA, OCR, Eduqas, whatever you're doing, there is a predicted paper for free on there, and there's full video walkthroughs, all free. Right, I've stalled a little bit because I knew TikTok was like really wanting to have their say, and I've been reading an awful lot of YouTube at the moment, so I'm going to do TikTok, and we're going to do, if I can speak, grade 8. Okay, grade 8. Someone says grade 8, the other person says grade 7/8, so that's what we're going to do. We're going to bounce. I'm not going to just sit and do hires. I'm going to try and bounce between hires and right. I'm not going to do grade. That's the last one, the paper, so that's going to be grade 9. So we're going to just move that back a bit. Vectors. I'm going to try and only do topics once as well. So if we've already done a topic, I'm not going to redo it because we want to try and maximize our revision. Right. Vectors can be on higher or foundation. This question is definitely higher only. But if you're thinking, oh, I'm doing foundation, they can be on foundation, but just not necessarily this horrible. Right. So we've got 2 congruent parallelograms. I'm going to read these out because I know they're a bit blurry. And we've got PQRV and VRST, and they're joined together. QP is A, so we've got A here, got a big A here, and it's pointing upwards. And then PV is B, so we've got a big B here pointing to the right. X is the midpoint of VT, so we've got X here, which is the midpoint of VT. Okay, VW, the ratio of VW to WR is 1 to 2. Okay, now the way you can show that really easily is just put a little notch here, and then it's really easy because you can see that it's a third of the length, right? Prove that QWX lie on a straight line. Okay, so we've got to prove that... oh, wow. Oh, that's quite cool, actually. I like this question. I thought it was going to be a boring question, but actually it's really good. So we've got to draw a line from Q all the way through. Now, actually, they don't lie on a straight line here. So I'm going to have to cheat a little bit. So we've got to prove that that's a straight line. So how are we going to do that? Well, if they have... if vector QW is a factorized version, if you factorize QW and WX, and they have the same inside the bracket, like one's twice or 3 times or 4 times as big as the other one, then they have to be the same direction. And given the fact W is the same point for both, if they're the same direction, then it's going to be a straight line, right? So I'm going to call this bit C, and I'm going to... Is there a C already? I don't think so. And I'm going to call this bit D. Oh, I shouldn't really... No, I shouldn't really introduce letters. That was really naughty. I'm going to call this QW, and I'm going to call this one WX. There we are. Much better. So we need to find out vector QW. And vectors are like roads, right? So you start where you want to start. So I'm starting at Q. I don't know what colour to do. I'm going to do blue. I start at Q and I've got to get to W. Okay? So I'm going to go down this road first. And this is the easy road, right? Because this is just A. So that's easy. Okay. Next, I'm going to go down this road. I like doing little noises as I do it, clearly. And this is just going to be B, okay? Because those roads are named. Now, my issue is that I need to get to W, and W sort of is here, right? And I don't have the vector for VW, okay? I don't have it. But the thing with vectors is that if a road is the same distance and direction, they are the same. And so RV, this one here, I'm just going to delete that though, is A. So this whole thing is A. But notice the direction's going up. So we're going to have to go the wrong way down that road, right? So let's get VW. Let's get that going. So it's going to be minus, because we're going the wrong way down A. And whenever you go the wrong way, it's going to be a minus. And it's not the full A. It's a third of it, right? Because we can see we've got 1, 2, 3 making up the full. So one of those 3. So it'd be minus a third A. Sweet. So QW, which we still haven't finished yet, is A plus B minus a third A. And then obviously A, which is 3/3, minus 1/3 A is just going to be 2/3 A, right? Plus B. Sweet. Next, we need to do sort of the same thing, but going all the way to T. All the way to X. My apologies. Ugh. So we're going to go back from W to V, and then we go from V to X. Okay, so where are we doing? We're doing W to T. And that's going to be, well, it's going the right way now. So it's going to do the third A, right? And this time we've got B, which is this bit. So the whole thing is B. So it's going to be half of b because x is a midpoint, right? So plus half of b. Okay, cool. Now what I can do is I can halve everything here. If I halve everything, I'm just going to put half outside, then I can say that it's 1/3 a, because half of 2/3 is 1/3, plus half b. And what did I say? I said that if you have the same things inside the brackets and then a different number outside it, so we've got 1 here and we've got a half on the other one, then they have to be the same direction. Now, you should probably write that out. I'm not going to sit here and write a proof. Like, I'm not going to write that down. I'm just going to say it. That's what you'd need to write. Sweet. Right. Is this foundation? No, this is grade 8. This is higher for this bit. But the video will be foundation if you tell me what grade you want to do. So if you tell me I want to do grade 3 or grade 1, let's do grade 1. Who wants to do grade 1? Even if you're higher, you're going to love grade 1, right? Grade 1 is foundation only, but technically, you have to know it still. There's nothing on grade 1 that you don't need to know. Oh. But there we go. Cool. Probability. Sweet. Everyone loves that. Yeah? Okay, cool. So, what have we got? I'm going to read these out because I know they're really blurry and you can't really read them. So I'm just going to read them out. Amit has 10 toy cars in a box. 4 are red, 3 are blue, 2 are white, and 1 is black. Amit takes a toy car at random. Mark with an arrow the probability that the toy car is red. Right, okay, so how many in total? 10. And then I'm assuming there's 10 notches, right? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Sweet. So the chance of it being red, there are 4 red, so it will be here. Sweet. Right, cool. Green. Now, red, blue, white, and black are the colours, right? So this is a trick question. They think that we're going to fall for this, but we're not. This is 0. Anything that's impossible is 0. So we do a bit of coordinates as well while we're here. And then we'll move off grade 1, right? What are the coordinates of grade 8? Of point A? Go along the corridor, which is along 4. And then up the stairs. Well, we don't go up. It's just going to be 0. Point B is 3 minus 3. So along the corridor to 3. And then up minus 3. Or that would be down 3, right? And so that. Now, be careful. Because what I did there is what's called losing a mark. Because you have to make sure you put the letter next to it. Sweet. Right. Let's have a look at YouTube. I haven't read any of the comments yet. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to read them. What we got. Proving circle theorems. I can't do specific ones. I can only do grades because we're doing it randomly. How long is this for? I'm going to do it definitely till 7 o'clock and then we'll see from there. I know you want to do... Well, I'll tell you what. If frequency trees come up, then I will do them. But like when we did this for paper 1, I spent forever trying to find a topic that people wanted, and it was just a waste of time because I couldn't find it. A way to do individual questions repeatedly on the onmaths website would be amazing. For example, I want to repeat a question in the paper 2 predicted paper that isn't... So everything on the onmaths site... Everything is under topics. So if you go onto the onmaths site, you can select specific topics. So if you want to do just sine rule, go onto the site. At the top, there's a little magnifying glass. Type in the topic you want, sine rule, whatever, and there are papers that just let you do the same thing again and again and again and again. So that would be what I would heavily advise you to do. Okay. Right, I think we do grade 4. I haven't seen anyone suggest... Oh, grade 1 we've already got. We've already done that. Okay, you're answering the person who said, what grade is this? So let's do grade 4, because grade 4 is what we all want. Oh, my goodness. this machine, if I change it before it's... Oh, some nice... that is definitely foundation only. I want to do some that on both. So let's just have a look and see. That's going to take... Yeah, okay. This is really important one. Let's go for this. I believe this is sort of error, okay? And a lot of the exams haven't done error yet at all. Alright, so let's do it now. And I'm going to read all these out because I know that they are a bit blurry. Because I've had to try and balance between getting the enough on screen and getting legibility. So the question says, a garage is 5 meters long, right? So we've got a garage that's 5 meters long, correct to 1 meter, right? Nearest meter. A car is 4.5 meters long, correct to 1 decimal place. Show that the car may not fit in the garage. All right. Now, this is all about error. Okay? So, let's do the garage first. The garage could have been... So, I draw a line first, and I show what it's rounded to. Okay? Which is 5 meters. If it was rounded to the nearest meter, what could it have been before? Well, to the nearest meter, what other values could it have been? It could have been 4 meters, or it could have been 3 meters. Those, oh my goodness. Wow, that's interesting. Or it could have been 6 meters. Try and wake up a bit. Those are the neighboring values it could be. Okay? So, with error, always think about neighboring values. And then all you've got to do is cut them in half, right? So, 4 to 5 would be 4.5. That's the lowest it could be. Cut it in half. And we've got 5.5. That's the highest it could have been. Okay, it's that simple. Go do the same for the... That's for the garage. Go do the same for the car. I should really label all this. Alright, let's do this neatly. I'll pretend that I'm really neat. Right. Okay, so we've got garage. I'll put that as a G. And we're going to do car here. Now, the car is 4.5 meters long. Okay, but it's to 1 decimal place. The next one along that it could have been is 4.6 meters, and the next one down it could have been is 4.4 meters. Cut them in half, and we've got 4.45 meters is the smallest it could be, and 4.55 meters is the largest. Now, the car may not fit in the garage. For the car not to fit in the garage, we want the car to be as big as possible, right? For the car not to fit in the garage, we want the garage to be as small as possible. So, all you need to do is say that the garage might have been 4.5 meters, and the car might be 4.55 meters. How easy is that? Now, what I've shown you now is almost certainly going to be on 1, 2, 3, or all 4 exam boards, because you know when you get those feelings that error intervals, higher end foundation, so everyone listening is going to benefit. Just have that feeling, right? I think we're happy on the old YouTube. I think everyone's happy on YouTube, which is good. Happy YouTube is a good YouTube. And everyone is happy. Okay, someone's laid down the gauntlet. Someone has laid down the gauntlet. So, they probably haven't actually. They probably know this, right? But they've said that 4.5, technically, on an error interval, should be 4.4999, blah, 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 or 4.49 recurring, right? Now, I'm sure they know this. Maybe. We'll see. These two are exactly the same, okay? Do not ever write this. Okay? Now, you might say, well, they're not exactly the same because blah, 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 4.5 would round up, blah, blah, blah. That would be the maximum, wouldn't it? 4.5 would round up to 5. Why have you written 4.5? Okay? That's the accusation. But 4.49 recurring is the same as 4.5. How do we know that? Because 1/3 is 0.3 recurring. You all know this, right? 2/3 is 0.6 recurring, and 3/3 would be 0.9 recurring. Follow the pattern, right? Now, we know 3/3 is 1, right? So 0.9 recurring is the same as 1. There is no difference. Zero difference. Okay? So, what is easier writing? 4.5? Oh, that's so nice and easy to write. Or 4.49 recurring. Now, imagine you've got to, like, do some calculations with that and take things away, etc. This is going to be a lot easier, right? This, I wouldn't waste your time. Okay? Now, I can guarantee you this. There's two things that people don't know, right? First of all, write 4.5. Always be correct. And the second thing is, on a cumulative frequency graph, did you know that you can just join them up with straight lines? That blows my mind. No curves required. Straight lines are so much easier. Now, check your example. That is true for the Edexcel. I don't know about Eduqas. It's true for OCR. Might be true for AQA as well. But all the examples agree 4.5. Right, I've waffled. I've waffled a little bit in case there's extra things people want. YouTube have not said anything, which is worrying me, because it might mean that it has crashed. Someone on YouTube just say something. It's going to take you a while because your stream is way behind. So I'm going to just focus on TikTok for a second. Grade 6. Grade 9. Okay, so we're on grade 9. Grade 9 was first. Let's do that. So we're going to go all the way up to grade 9. And if you are tuned in late, then we are covering... These questions have come from Edexcel, AQA, OCR, and Eduqas. But I am only covering topics that are true for each of the exam boards. So, for instance, on Eduqas, they talk about questionnaires. We're not covering that because that's not in the other 3 exam boards. For Edexcel, they talk about frequency polygons. Those aren't in the other exam boards. So we're going to ignore those. So everything we do is applicable for all 4 exam boards that we cover on the site. Right. Disclaimer over. What is going on with this? Oh, my goodness. All right, so I'm going to read these out because they're a bit blurry. Bert and Rehan use 6-digit codes to lock their phones. They must use these digits to create their code. Each digit can only be used once in a code. Bert's code must meet the following conditions. The first digit is a multiple of 4. The second and third digits are prime numbers. There are no conditions to the remaining digit. Wow, okay, so let's just write that down. So the first digit, it must be a multiple of 4, and then the second and third are prime, and then the fourth one is just whatever. Rehan doesn't have any conditions on his code. How many more code combinations does Rehan choose than Bert? Right. Okay, so multiple of 4. Well, let's do Rehan's first, okay? So there are how many to pick? All right, let's. So we split this in half, right? Okay, so we're doing Rehan first. Okay. For the first one for Rehan, where there's no conditions on the code, right? How many does he have to pick? Well, there's 6 there, so he's got 6 to choose from. Now, he's then picked one of those. I've picked the 3. It could have been anything, right? He's then picked that first one, the 3. How many left has he got to pick from? Well, he's got 5, right? And then he's picked another one. So how many left has he got? Well, 4. And then he's picked one, so it's got 3. Now, this is the product rule, probably. And you just need to multiply them together, right? So 6 times 5 times 4 times 3. That will tell you that he has 360 combinations. That's it. That's all you've got to do. The problem is that Bert is a bit more complicated. And let's see if I can move his across. In fact, actually, I'll just shrink it. There we are. There we go. Right. Now, with Bert, it's a little bit more fiddly because he hasn't got 6 to pick from, or how many ever it is, 8 to pick from. No, 6. I was right. 6 to pick from for the first one, right? I'm stalling a bit because I'm just setting it up. Right. So how many are in the 4 times table? So we've got 4 and we've got 8. So there's 2 to pick from for the first pick, right? He has to pick one of those 2. Prime numbers, so there's 7, 5, and 3. So he's only got those 3 to pick from for the second pick. Now, he will have picked one of those prime numbers, and he's only got 2 left to pick from, right? So it would be one or the other. Okay. So in total, how many are there left? Well, there's got to be 3 left. Okay, so we do 2 times 3 times 2 times 3. No, there's not going to be 3. Yeah, let's get end on 3. Okay, so 2 times 3 times 2 times 3. There we go. Now, weirdly, that ends up with... have we messed something up here? So we've got 2, 3... Oh, there's 6. I've only done 4. That's really stupid. Times 2 times 1. Why did I think it was only... because remaining digits. That's why. I was going to say, I didn't feel like that was going to be right there. Alright. Read the question. Don't ever assume. Okay. Times 2 times 1. There we go. So that's not going to be 360. That's going to be 6 times 5 times 4 times 3 times 2 times 1, which is 720. And this is going to be 2 times 3 times 2 times 3 times 2 times 1, which is 72. And so it says how many more? So we do 720 take away 72. So 720 take away 72 is 648. So Rehan has 648 more. Now, oh, here we go. We've detected inactivity using your current live. Oh, wow. Okay, so what am I doing? Oh. Unable to verify. Right, so TikTok's now got me putting puzzle pieces in. That's fun. Okay. Oh, cool. YouTube is alive again. Okie dokie. Hello. Do you know from the top of your head which topics may come up in tomorrow's paper? So, if you go to onmaths.com and you click on the very first thing, like the main thing, it has every single exam board. And if you click that have come up, if you're on Eduqas, then there are 3 categories because there's only 2 papers for Eduqas. So I can be a bit more certain over what has come up and what hasn't. So you just go to onmaths.com, all completely free, and there are papers for every single topic. So if I've said sine and cosine rules are definitely going to come up, or I never say definitely, but very likely to come up. If you click on it, you can then do practice on those topics, and it's all completely free, and it marks it itself, and you can sign up for a free account, save your scores, all that business. Hi, my tutor told me to relax and not do much revision. What do you think? I'm just not used to what everyone else has to do. I'm just looking through past papers, annotating, and watching you as well. Yeah, like predicted papers at this point are really, really good. The night before, just do a couple of predicted papers. And yeah, nice early night. No one's gone up, substantial amount of grades the night before, but just maybe go through some of the formulas tomorrow morning would be good, but just don't panic yourself. I'm really confused how you're solving this. Can you explain the whole process? So with combinations, you just literally multiply them together. So Rehan, if there were 6 that he could pick from at the start, then when he picks those 6, there are 5 left, right? And then 4, and then 3, and then 2, and then 1. And the rule says that if you just multiply it together, then it will tell you how many combinations there are. So if you've got like A, B, C, right? Then to find the combinations of picking 3, you do at the start you have 3 that you can pick from, then 2, then 1. That says there'll be 6 combinations, right? So if we do that, we've got A, B, C, we've got A, C, B, we've got B, A, C, B, C, A, and then we've got C, A, B, and C, B, A. C, B, A is probably what we're all feeling at the moment, right? So there's 6 of them there, and so it's just a way of figuring out how many there will be. Yeah. Can you saying like the sine cosine rule? We're all loving the cosine and sine rule. Right, so what I can do is I can try and have a look for a paper. And this is what I don't want to do, because we just end up... Oh no, that's really annoying. That's trigonometric area. So close yet so far. If it's got trigonometric area, it won't have what we want. Come on. We want sine cosine rule, right? This what happens. It's boring. It's boring just me going through. Is that it there? All right. I think this is grade 9 maybe. It's sort of on the periphery, isn't it? All right. So are we up for this? I think this is. I would imagine it's a sine rule somewhere. Okay. So calculate the length of DC. So you could we could put an X on it just to make it a bit easier. Right. So here we've got two angles. So we can actually work out this angle here, right? So if I get my calculator, I can do 180 minus 79 minus 39, which is 62. There's only 3 marks for this. I'm just like wondering why it's only 3 marks. But anyway, and we could use the sine rule now, because we've got a pair of corresponding angle and length, right? So we've got them opposite each other, and then we've got a pair here. Yeah. And the sine rule says that it is sine A over A equals sine B over B. Or we do it the other way around. Now, when we're looking for a length, we want the length to be on top because it just makes things easier, right? So we're going to do A over sine A equals B over sine B. Okay, because it doesn't actually matter which way around they go, right? A is the length, which will be X. Sine A will be sine, the one corresponding with the X, the one opposite that, so it'd be 39, equals B, which is 9.6 over sine 62. And then all we need to do now is put our lines in. They haven't left us very much space for this. I'm not very satisfied with that, to be honest. So what we're going to do is just go times both sides by sine 39, right? And so we've got X equals, and so on our calculator, we just go to 9.6 times sine 39, close brackets. And then I normally press equals and then just divide by sine 62, right? And we've got 6.842, blah, 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 which equals, does it say what we need to do it to? We'll just do, I don't know, 1 decimal place. No, I always do 2. Sweet. There we are. We found ourselves a sine rule. Right, are we pushing for any grades? So if you've just joined us, I will do any grade, and they are all calculator paper questions from the different exam boards, but I'm only going to do ones that are applicable to each exam board. So I'm looking for anyone saying a grade. So just, if you say grade 5, I will do grade 5. Right, I'm going to go down to grade 4, because, again, grade 4 is where we're all happy. I'm not sitting doing scattergraph. That sounds not fun. Okay, this is good. Inequalities. Inequalities, I think, haven't come up on quite a few of the papers. So it's a good one to do. I'm going to rewrite this, because I know they're quite small on this. So 14n is greater than 11n plus 6. And let me just set up the other thing. There we go. Right. First thing to do is put our lines in. And what we need to do is take, whenever you've got x or n or whatever on both sides, always take away the least amount, right? So we've got 14n on the left, 11n on the right. So we're going to take away 11n, because that's the less amount, right? I've just written m as well. 14n take away 11n is 3n. Is greater than 6, and then we're going to divide by 3 both sides to get n on its own. So we've got n is greater than 2. So our answer is n is greater than 2. Now, be really careful when you're mucking about with inequalities, when you're solving them. Solve means get the letter on its own, but if you ever times or divide by a negative, you have to flip the sign. So if you've got something like minus x is greater than 5, if you're going to times both sides by -1, you've got to have it as x is less than -5. So just be really careful of that. That's nothing to do with the question, but just a little bit of a tip. Right. On the number line below, show the value of the set of values of x for which x plus 3 is between -2 and 4. Right. First thing we've got to do is solve this. And this is not much room, is it? Not much room at all. We've got +3 in the middle, so we need to take away 3 from all 3 sides. So we're going to take away 3 from all 3 sides. That would be -5. So x is greater than -5 and less than or equal to 1. Okay. Next, we are greater than -5. So it's just going to be a hollow dot. We are equal to or less than 1. So that's going to be a filled in dot. And then we just join it up with a nice straight line. Sweet. 3 marks. Easiest 3 marks you're ever going to get. Alright. I'm going to look at YouTube and see what we're saying. Algebraic fractions. Again, I can't really do specific questions. Although if they come up, I'll make sure we do them. I'm looking for grades only. So grade 5 to 6. So grade 5 would be good because then that's all of us. I'll look at TikTok next, don't worry. TikTok have been like really on it. TikTok are on it. Right. A lot of the ones did pressure and density, but a lot of them didn't do simultaneous equations, which this one is. So this will be worth doing. I want to try and cover topics that are like worthwhile doing to everyone. Right. So we've got in the question 7 cartons of apple juice. So we're going to have 7A. A is the price. Is it the price? Yeah, it's the price of apple juice. And, meaning plus, 2 cartons of grapefruit. Right, so 2G. Cost, so equals £6.15. So 615 pence. Always try and do things in pence, right? That's my tip to you. 5 cartons of apple juice and 8 cartons of grapefruit juice equals 919 pence, or £9.19. Use an algebraic method to calculate the total cost of 2 apples and 5 grapefruits. Oh wow, this isn't a simultaneous equation at all, because if you notice we're trying to get to 2 apple juices and 5 grapefruits. What do you do to them? Well, we just literally are going to subtract them. How cool is that? I've never seen this question. I love this. This is my favourite question. So we're just going to subtract. Okay, so 7A, take away 5A is 2A. Oh no, that doesn't work, does it? Oh, that's such a shame. No, scrap that. I was getting excited there, but that's not going to work, is it? Oh, I thought they were being clever there. They're not. I suppose for 5 marks, just subtracting would be too easy. Okay, so what we've got to do for simultaneous equations, as we know, is we need to get the A's or the G's the same. Now, normally I go for the A's, but 7 and 5 will become 35, right? But if you look at the G's, they're 2 and 8. Now, 8, we don't need to do anything to it, because all we need to do is times everything in the first equation by 4. Right, the whole lot. So times that by 4, times that by 4, and times that by 4. And it will make the G's to be 8, right? So times 7 by 4 is 28. A plus 8G, 2 times 4. And then I'm going to use a calculator, even though I could probably do it in my head. If you've got a calculator, please, for the love of everything tomorrow, use it. If you've got a calculator, please use it. I'm going to repeat the second equation underneath. So that we can add or subtract. So what we're going to do, add or subtract? Well, if the signs are the same, of the coefficient that's the same, so the 8 is the same for the G. If the signs are the same, so S in same is the S in subtract, right? Sweet. If they're different, right, then it's add, which is the D in add, right? Okay, so we're going to subtract because they're the same. So subtract, subtract, and subtract. And we're going to do a neat line. Why not? Okay, so we've got 28 take away 5, which I'm hoping is 23, right? 8 to take away 8, G is just nothing. And then 2,460 take away 919 is 1,541. Lastly, we just need to solve. So get our lines in. And what we're going to do to solve, well, we're going to divide by the 23, both sides. Divide by 23. And, I mean, to be honest, the fact that we've got a nice, easy number means we've probably got it right. Equals 67. That's not even close to the finish yet, but we're doing well. We're going to pick one of the equations. I'm going to pick the top one. Yeah, let's do the top one. And we're going to substitute that in. So 7 times 67 plus 2G equals 615. And let's get our lines in. So the first thing to do is work out what 7 times 67 is, which is 469. And we're going to subtract the 469 from both sides. And I'm just going to move this down a bit so we can see. Okay, so we've got 2G equals, and again, on the calculator, 615 take away 469. And we've got 146. And then finally, we're just going to divide by 2. Get G on its own. And you might be thinking here, oh, sweet, I've done it, right? I've got my answer. But again, that's not what the question's asked. The question's asked for the cost of 2 apples plus 5 grapefruits. So we need to do 2 times the 67 plus 5 times the 73. So 2 times 67 plus 5 times 73. And we get 499 pence. Now, the question's asked for it in pounds. So it'd be 4.99. Oh, my goodness me. Right. I said I'd do TikTok next, so I'm going to look at TikTok. Is the Casio calculator I've got allowed? So this is, well, the calculator I've got is the FX991EX. I don't know whether they do it anymore. This technically speaking, is not allowed. Because it can do functions on it that you really shouldn't be able to do, but everyone in previous schools has had this same class whiz calculator, and they don't seem to be bothered. They will, if you use the calculator you have used in class for thus far, then you should be fine. The graphic calculators are the ones that they will notice straight away. Sorry, TikTok's asking a question about the calculator, and that'll be my answer. What exam board is this? All of these questions are of the 4 exam boards, but they all are ones that are on all 4 exam boards. I'm not going to cover anything that is exam board specific. Grade 7 has come up, so we're going to do grade 7 next, and I'll look at YouTube next. So if you've got a grade that you want me to go through, then let me know. Okay, so this is part 2. How interesting is part 1? Okay, part 1's a bit boring, but part 2 probably is more interesting, so let's do that. And what question is this? 16. Okay. Righty-ho. So, we've got cones A and B are mathematically similar. What does similar mean? It means that one is an enlargement of the other, right? So it's either times 2, times 5, whatever, right? So there's a scale factor between them. It's saying the diameter of A is 12, right? And the diameter of B is 18, right? So we can work out the scale factor straight away, right? So we can just do 18 divided by 12. So I don't know why I'm getting my calculator out for this, because I know the answer, but let's do it anyway. Be 1.5. So we know that the scale factor is 1.5. And I probably could show that actually. 18 divided by 12 equals 1.5. Okay, the total surface area of cone A is 300 centimeters squared, right? Calculate the total surface area of cone B. Okay, I'm going to show you the wrong answer, and in chat, I want you to tell me why it's wrong. So listen carefully. I'm going to give you the wrong answer, and you need to tell me what I've done wrong, okay? So 300, so for A to B, we need to times by 1.5, right? If A is 300 centimeters squared, right, the area, then I need to do 300 times 1.5. Okay, 450. Why is that wrong? Go. See, TikTok's on it, because TikTok is pretty much live. YouTube at the moment, there we go. We're caught up. Right, let's have a look. See, anyone can tell me why that's wrong. I'm reading out everything. So I'm reading out all of the questions. So if it is a little bit small, I am reading them all out. And I think you can do them on a laptop and stuff, and it's a little bit bigger. And I've got it on the iPad, and I've put the iPad portrait. So it's pretty good, but... Right. I don't think anyone's got it yet. Oh, hang on. No, someone's got it. See, TikTok again. TikTok are on it. I think it's because TikTok have the video of my face, and it's motivating them more. YouTube have just nothing. They've just got blank screen. Blank screen with just the question. Okay, cool. We got the right answer. Well done, guys. So, if the linear scale factor, and this is the point, is this is the linear scale factor. If the linear scale factor is 1.5, the area scale factor will be times 1.5 times 1.5, or times 1.5 squared. Okay? So the scale factor will be times 1.5 times 1.5. Why is that the case? Because you've got to times it by 1.5 per dimension. Famously, areas have how many dimensions? 2 dimensions, right? 2D shapes. So you've got to do 300 times 1.5 squared, or just do times 1.5 times 1.5, right? So our answer will be 675 centimeters squared. Now, it's really important. So I'm going to just spend a bit more time on it, right? If you've got a square, which is 1 centimeter. No, let's do... Yeah, let's do... what do we do? What do we normally do? 100 centimeters, right? Okay, so what is 1 meter squared in centimeters squared? Okay, this is a good one to do. Okay, so if we have a square that is 100 centimeters by 100 centimeters, right? Because that's what a meter is, right? It's 100 centimeters. What would the area of that be? Well, it will be not 100, it will be 10,000, right? Okay? And so 1 meter is 100 centimeters. The scale factor between meters and centimeters is times 100. But the scale factor between meters squared and centimeters squared is times 100 times 100. So therefore, what will 1 meter cubed be? Right? Well, it will be times 100 times 100 times 100. They love that question on the exam, so if that comes up, you can come onto the YouTube channel and give me a thank you. Right. I'm going to go to YouTube and see if there's anyone suggesting grades. Algebraic fractions are a popular one. I get it. I'm on it. You're more welcome to join on TikTok. As I said, it's the same as YouTube, but with my face. Which I don't know whether is a good thing. Right. I'm going to go through grade 4. Whenever I don't get grades, I just go do grade 4 because it covers everyone. That's where I'm going. That's my destination. Oh, wicked. Got a horrible one here. It doesn't look too bad, maybe. I don't know. Haven't tried it yet. Okie dokie. Right. So, I'm going to read these out because I know that these are quite small, okay? So, if you can't read it, it's not a problem. I'll read it out. So, the table shows information about some CDs. We've got rock, pop, jazz. And for rock, we've got 2. For pop, we've got X. And for jazz, we've got 2X plus 5. A CD is chosen at random. The probability is rock is 1 over 20. So, probability of rock is 1 over 20. Work out the probability it is jazz. Wow, okay. This is really cool. Alright. So, I don't even know how to start doing this, because we need to work out how many there are in total, right? So, in total, there are 2 plus X plus 2X plus 5, which is 3X plus 7. Okay, so that's the total amount. The probability of rock is going to be how many rock there are, which is 2 over 3x plus 7. So 2 over the total. But we know that that is 1 over 20. Okay, we know that they're equal. Therefore, put our lines in, and we can solve this, right? So we're going to times both sides by... Ooh. We're going to times both sides by 20. These are horrible, isn't they? So it would be 40 over 3x plus 7 equals 1. And then we're going to times both sides by 3x plus 7. Whenever you've got a fraction, just get rid of it. It's much easier. So 40 equals 1 times 3x plus 7, or just 3x plus 7. I'm just going to take away 7 both sides. We're going to have to start again up here. So 40 take away 7 is what? 33 equals 3x. And then lines down, divide both sides by 3. And we've got x equals 11. So x is 11, but it says work out the probability of jazz. So we're going to substitute that 11 in. So it becomes 2 or 22 plus 5, which is 27. So there's 27 jazz. And how many are in total? So it'd be 3 times 11, or just 33, plus 7, which is 40. So it'd be 40 in total, and it'd be 11 over 40. I think that's right. Oh, no, it's not 11, is it? 11 is what x is. My bad. 27, there we go. 27 over 40. Ah, that's a really cool question. I like that. Right, we're going to TikTok and seeing what grade people want to do. Let's have a look. Higher or foundation? I don't mind. Grade 1 to 9, you tell me. 6. 6 is the first one. 8 came very close afterwards, so we'll do grade 6. And then if YouTube is asleep again, then we'll do grade 8. YouTube sleep a lot. Right. See, I can't believe, like, I thought YouTube would be on it, and I thought TikTok would be the one that was half asleep. But TikTok are on it. TikTok are definitely ahead of the game at the moment, we shall say. Right. There's a lot of... I feel like we've sort of done this type of question. It's sort of a Pythagoras question, so let's do a re-roll. We've done similarity. I want to try and make sure we don't waste this. Okay, cool. Translations. Who doesn't hate them? Some of the transformations haven't come up yet, so it's worth doing. Translation. This is definitely not a grade 6. This is a bit of a rare one. This is a kind of grade 4. But we'll do a grade 6 again, okay? So we'll do this one quickly, and then we'll actually do a proper grade 6 one. Pick 2 points on both shapes. Translation means it's moved, okay? And so you've got to work out how it's moved from A to B. And the way of doing that is with jumps. And we say, right, how many jumps to the right? 1, 2, 3, 4. So it's 4 jumps to the right. And then how many jumps down? So it's got 1, 2, 3 jumps down. So you've got to make sure you pick the same point that you start and finish on, okay? The top left. I always pick the top left. So for a vector, the top number is how many to the right it's gone, which is 4. Now, importantly, the bottom number is how far up it's gone. It has gone -3 up, right? Because it's gone down. So the answer would be -3. Right. Let's try and do an actual grade 6. That was a bit of a rubbish. We've done those. So the problem is we end up having done all of the... It's not grade 6. Okay, this is cool. I feel this is sort of this is not really grade 6 though. Sorry guys. And this is the same exam. How cool is that? Randomly got the same exam. Okay, cool. I don't know whether I want to do this, but I will do it because again, a lot of the exam boards, this has not come up yet. So whenever we have that, it's definitely worth doing. We're asked to estimate the mean travelling time. Whenever you estimate the mean, there's a few things you've got to do. First of all, we've got to add our midpoint column on. Where am I? I'm going to just do the midpoint column here. Why not? Probably do it at the end. Yeah. So midpoint is a representation of the full group. Okay, it's 20 to 40. What point is halfway? Well, we know that halfway is going to be 30. Okay. If you don't know, you can add the two numbers together and divide by 2. So 20 plus 40 is 60. Halve it is 30. And then we do that for each of them. So halfway between 40 and 80 will be, 60? And then 90. And then, where's that, 125? And again, here, you could have just added them. 250, half of that's 125. And then we need to do our FX column, which I'm gonna just use the columns they've got because it's going to be easier. So I'm just going to cut that in half there. But feel free to add some more on. Now, the midpoint I call the X. The F is the frequency. Okay, and we just times them together. Okay. So it times them together, so that would be 2040. That would be 11160, 21420, and 13500. The mean is the sum of the F X over the sum of the F. What does that mean? Well, you need to add up the frequency column. Okay, so the sum of frequencies is going to be whatever those are added together. I need to get my doodah out. So it probably tells you in the question, actually, 600, right? There we are, it tells you in the question. So 600. So that's the sum of the F. And sum of the FX will be 48120. If you do that, then you get 80.2. Roughly. Do it exactly. 48120 divided by 600 is, yeah, it's 80.2. Perfect. Spot on. Okay. Why is it called estimated mean? Well, because we don't know in the group, we don't know that they were all 30. Why did we pick 30? Because it's in the middle. That's it. Okay, so we pick 30 because it's the middle. That's the only reason. So all the times could have been exactly 40 at that group, and that would have affected our mean. If we'd known that, then our mean would increase, wouldn't it? Cool, right, let's go to YouTube. Let's see if they're still sleeping. So TikTok are up for the exam. Are YouTube? If you're up for the exam and you're on YouTube, can you let me know? Because they won't for another 30 seconds. Okay. Looking at YouTube, we've got, I think grade 5 is the first one. Yeah, there's a lot of requests for topics. I'm not going to pick topics specifically because it's randomized. But if iteration comes up or algebraic fractions come up, what grade did I say I'll do? 6. Yeah, grade 6. Oh, we're doing grade 6 now, but I can refresh. I think we said grade 8 next, so let's go to grade 8. If I can get the machine to work. I'm not keen on doing that now. I want to find one because I think that circle theorem proofs has come up. We've done probability. I want to try and find one that we haven't. Well, okay, we haven't completed the square yet, so that'll be worth doing. Sorry if you've only just joined us and you weren't there for that. I apologise. Okay, so nice grade 8 question, completing the square. Okay, I'm going to rewrite this just to make it bigger. Okay, because I know that we're going to have problems seeing it. And it just wants us to complete the square. Now, completing the square means we ignore the first bit and we just focus on this bit. Okay? And what we want to do is get that into a square bracket. And we can do that by putting x in the bracket and the squared. But it's the 8x that we worry about. We go, okay, how are we going to get the 8x? Well, we're going to do half of that, minus 4x, because we know that it will be... There'll be a stage of it where we do... Oh, minus 4x. Minus 4 even. If I wake up. We know there will be a point where you do x times minus 4 plus x times minus 4. So that will get us the 8x. But if you expand that, which we're going to do over here, right? So if we do x minus 4 times x minus 4, so x minus 4 squared, we get the x squared. We get the minus 8x, if I can write it properly. But we also get plus 16. Okay, because it's the minus 4 times the minus 4. So what we need to do is take away the 16 that is produced. Okay, we need to take away the 16 that will create. Now, we haven't done anything with the plus 25 yet. Okay, so that's just sort of left over. In your exam, don't do the pink square. That's just showing you where we've completed the square. So we've got the x minus 4 squared bit. And we just got the minus 16 plus 25, so that would just be plus 9. Okay, so our answer will be x minus 4 squared plus 9. It says write down the coordinates of the turning point of the graph. Okay, so this is functions here. You might not know it. It is. And to do this, what you do is you start off with y equals x squared. Which is here, y equals x squared. And what this function is telling you is that we are moving to the left. No. I normally say left, and then everyone goes, no, because it's right. We're going to move into the right 4, and we're then going to move up 9. Okay? So we're moving to the right 4 and up 9. If you think about it, it's if you got rid of the minus 4 and the plus 9, you would just have x squared, okay, which is why we're starting with x squared. So we're moving 4 to the right. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and we're moving 9 up, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So we'll end up with the point at the bottom, this turning point, right? It's moved to the right 4 and up 9. So the turning point will be at 0.49. Hence describe the single transformation which maps the graph y equals x squared onto the graph. Where's what we've just done. And we've just done vectors as well. How cool is that, right? So it will be a translation because it's remained the same. And right is 4 and up is 9. That's pretty cool. I like that. Right. Okay, so I'm going to move that back to grade 4 because we've done a lot of higher, and I know there are foundation people on there. So go down to grade 4 and see how it goes. Okay. Oh my goodness. Right. This question here, I always feel like I'm going to get wrong. I'm going to let you know now. Because I just can't get my head around it sometimes. Do you know what I mean? I think you know what I mean. So you've got 4y equals 5x, and you've got to figure out which statement is true. Okay? So 4y equals 5x. If I get my lines in, then I can divide by 4 both sides, right? So we've got y equals 5 over 4x. So if I've got an x and I want to get to a y, what do I have to do? Well, in this situation, it's if I've got a y, how do I get to an x, isn't it? Well, you've got to times it by 5 over 4. Now, this is all talking about percentages. So what is 5 over 4 as a decimal? 5 over 4, it would be 1 1/4, which will be 1.25. So that would be 125%. Okay? So to get from y to x, you need to times, or you need to raise it by 125%. You don't times it by 125%. You times it by 1.25, but you raise it by 125%. So y is 125% of x. Final answer. No 50-50s. Yeah. Oh, okay, cool. See, TikTok's already got the answer. Already on it. Okay, so we've got a request for grade 9. I'm going to listen to it because TikTok got the right answer. If you get the right answer, then you get to choose what grade we do. That was quite a short grades 4, though, wasn't it? Is this iteration? I have said we do iteration. This is grade 9. It says grade 8, but let's ignore that. It's grade 9. And I said if I saw an iteration, I'd go for it. Although the person who has asked for it might not still be here. It's absolutely typical, isn't it? I don't know whether this is sort of true iteration. We shall see. So it says, I know this is really small, so I'm going to just go write out. So x1 is 1. And we need to work out the approximate solution to x equals 5 minus 1 over x. And we're given the iterative form of, to get to the next one, then you do this, right? With the previous one. So use x1. Okay, cool. Let's rearrange this because I actually could start off with this bit. So let's just rearrange it slightly. Sweet. Okay. So the iteration just tells us how to get from one to the other. And you can use the iterative function in your calculator. To do that, what we're going to do is we're going to press 1 on our calculator. Okay? So if you're on TikTok, you can see me doing this, right? If I drop my calculator, that's suave and sophisticated, isn't it? Right, so you press 1 on your calculator, okay? And then press equals. Now what that equals does is it stores it in your calculator, okay? And then the iterative function says 5 minus, so we're going to type 5 minus fraction 1 over, and I'm going to just put the 1 over, where's my camera, there it is, 1 over, and then answer. So if you see that, if you're on TikTok, you can see that, but if you're not, it says 5 minus in a fraction 1 over ans. Okay? Now what that does is it means every time I press equals, it will go through the iteration. Okay? So we've got x2 will be 4. Okay? And all I need to do now is press equals again, and it will carry it on, right? And I've got to press S to D because it loves doing it as a fraction. Press equals again. It will stop the fraction soon. So when the fractions go a bit mad, it stops. It's still doing the fractions. I don't know whether yours is still doing fractions. 4.791, blah blah blah. Still doing fractions. It's like Die Hard. It loves the fractions. I don't know. Did Die Hard like fractions? Maybe. We need to go a bit more here because we're doing 4 significant figures, right? Okay. So 4.79128. So whenever you've got the same answer to 5 significant figures. I've done decimal places, but anyway. Whenever you get the same answer twice to 4 significant figures, so this one here, and actually this one here, so we could have stopped earlier, right? Then we stop, and that's our answer. So answer will be 4.791. That is iteration. That's all you need to know. So remember, iteration, you put the number you're starting with, your x1 value, into your calculator and press the equals. That will store it in the calculator's memory. Then you type in the iterative formula you're given in the iterative formula you're using, which is in this box at the top. So 5 minus fraction 1 over, but instead of pressing 1, you do 1 over answer, and that will just mean that every time you press the equal sign, it will go through the next iterative process. Bash, 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 bash. Now, if you don't want to do any working out, you could just sit there and press equals 1,000 million times, right? No, probably don't need that. I've never seen one do more than 10, okay? You do it 10, 20 times, whatever, right? And you'll just keep getting the same answer flash out because you've only got so many decimal places shown, right? But I would recommend you write it down in case you make a mistake and you can show that you've understood the iterative process, etc., etc. But I will leave that up to you and your conscience. So that is grade 9. So I'm going to bounce back to grade 4 because I thought we did lip service to grade 4. Even though everyone wants to do sort of higher grades, there's going to be few people here that are grade 4. Column vectors. We did sort of vectors earlier, but I said that there are vectors on foundation, and these are they. So we'll do this now. So, and these also haven't come up, I don't think, in any of the exam papers yet. So I'm trying my best to remember what it has come up before. I don't remember these. They might have. Right. So we've got 2 column vectors, A and B, and we're asked to find 2A minus 3B as a column vector. 2A, all we need to do is times top and bottom here by 2. So instead of 3, it will be 6. Instead of 4, it will be 8. And times top and bottom here by 3, right? So 15 and minus 6. Then we need to just subtract the tops, right? 6 take away 15 will be minus 9. And 8 take away minus 6, well, 2 minuses together make a plus. 8 plus 6 is going to be 14. Sweet. Cool. Right, let's do another grade 4, because I feel like I want to have a bit of grade 4 time, because we've done quite a few higher ones. Oh, same one again. That's how much it likes that one. Okay, highest common factors, lowest common multiples. Love it. Let's do it. Highest common factor, find the factors of 60 and 84. I don't know whether we want to do Venn diagrams for this, because you can do it with Venn diagrams, but I don't know whether it's worth it. I mean, do you want to do it with Venn diagrams? Let's do these with Venn diagrams. Why not? Okay. Which Venn diagram? Okay. I'm going to do these as products of prime factors. Okay. So split them into 2 numbers, one of them being a prime number. And then we've got, what, 3 and 5. Same with 84, 2 and 42, 2 and 21. And what's that, 3 and 7. Okay, so whenever you have this situation, you want to Venn diagram for it. Okay. And we've got 60 and 84. So we've got a 2 in common. We've got another 2 in common. And we've got a 3 in common. Okay? All the ones we have in common, those will, if you multiply them together, so 2 times 2 times 3, it will create the highest common factor for you. Okay? Did we have to do all of that? No. Could you have sat down and worked out that 12 was the biggest number that went into 60 and 84? You absolutely could have done. But, you know, we're not going to do things the easy way today. Lowest common multiple, you can do the same way. So we're going to do it the same way. Okay? Because product of primes are important. Again, I think they've only come up in one of the exam boards. So, worthwhile doing. Doesn't take long. I think if my handwriting was neater, it would probably take longer, but it's not. So, you know. So lowest common multiple is the first number that is in the 24 and the 40 times table. Again, you could sit and write out the 24 and 40 times table if you want. I mean, it's your time on your exam. But do a quick Venn diagram. This time we're going to do the ones in the middle and we're going to do the ones on the outside as well. So we've got a 3 and we've got a 5. And this time we need to multiply the ones in the middle together and the ones on the outside. So we've got to multiply, the whole lot, right? All of that, the whole lot, okay? And you might be thinking, well, surely that's just going to be 24 times 40. Well, notice what happened. When we had the first 2 in each of them, we wrote the 2, we had 2 2s, yet we only wrote it once. Okay, so that's why it doesn't come up with the same number. 3 times 5 is 15, times 2 is 30, times 2 is 60, times 2 is 120. So that's going to be 120. Pretty cool, isn't it? Pretty cool. Right. I'm going to go back to YouTube because like TikTok have been absolutely winning this. In fact, I think a few people have gone from YouTube to TikTok just because I'm much nicer to TikTok at the moment. But I think YouTube still... Oh, okay. There's some good stuff here on YouTube. I think they're up in their game here. Okay. Yeah, there are. The thing is, someone said that there's too many ads on YouTube, so I joined TikTok. Well, I'm monetized on YouTube, so I get like money with YouTube. I'm not monetized on TikTok, so I do TikTok for the love of TikTok. So that's probably why there are. I haven't clicked any adverts. I don't know. I think there's a button I can click to do advert breaks, but I'm not going to do that for obvious reasons. Right. Yeah. Sorry about the size of screen. So this is one of the downsides of doing TikTok. Is I had a setup where I could do it landscape on YouTube and portrait for TikTok, but then it just didn't work. And then I had it zoomed in. So I had it zoomed in twice as much, but it meant you could barely see anything on the screen. So the less I have it zoomed in, the more I can show, if that makes sense. So I can show a full question, and it's not scrolling up and down. It's a balancing thing. I think from your comments, for if we do this again, paper 3, I'll zoom it in a little bit, maybe 75%, or try and find a way of doing it. Right. Okay, so we're going to look at a grade 6, I think, was the last thing I saw on YouTube. So this is higher only, but we'll keep making sure we bounce back to foundation as well. I'm not going to do that one because that's silly. We've done that one. Okay, let's do some factorising. Again, I don't really know whether this is... I don't know. I think, yeah, okay. It's quite late on in this higher paper, so, yeah. So, factorise fully. Oh, my goodness. What is going on with this? So, we've got a 3y, right, on the outside, and then 3y squared minus 2 on the inside. Don't really understand why that's difficult. I'm sure someone somewhere will explain why that's difficult. Yeah, I don't... Feels like there should be a trick there, but I don't see it. Okay. Then we've got factorise. Now, factorise means put it into brackets. And we've got a prime number on the outside. Okay, we've got this 3 here. So we know it's going to have a 3y and a y. Helps if I get the right letter. 3x and then x, which is nice. We need 2 numbers to multiply together to make 7. So we've got 2 choices here. Either it's going to be 7 and 1 or 1 and 7. You can only get a positive product and a negative sum if they're both negative. So they're both going to be negative. So it's either going to be minus 7. Now, think about it. We've got to get to 22. So when we do 3 times this number, we're going to need it big. Okay? And so we're going to have the minus 7 here. And then when we do 1 times this number, it doesn't matter that this isn't as big. Okay? If you expand it, 3x times x is 3x squared. 3x times minus 7 is minus 21x. Minus 1 times x is minus 1x. Therefore, that would be minus 22x. And then minus 1 times minus 7 will be positive 7. Wicked. Right. Circle theorems. My issue with circle theorems is the proof has come up on quite a few papers. But if there's a nice non-proof circle theorem question, yeah, you sure. So we go and have a look. So we go and hunt for a circle theorem. Right, let's hunt. I'm on the hunt. There's a Venn diagram one there. Oh, there were some that flashed up there, but I wasn't quick enough to stop the roulette wheel. Oh, hang on there. Someone asked me about algebraic fractions, so this might be a good one to do. So we'll try and bear that in mind. The one that we had before, right? Okay, so what are we doing here? Solve this equation. Okay, so it's algebraic fractions. We're probably going to end up with quadratics as well. Oh, this will be a good one. Okay, cool. So we've got 5 over... I'm just going to write it again because I know they're quite small. And this is grade 9. Last question on the paper. So that it says grade 8, but it should be grade 9. Can I change it? No, I can't. Alright, over x minus 3 equals 2. Right, let's get that in. Okay, lots to do. So, first thing to do is get rid of fractions. Okay? So, I'm going to start by multiplying everything by the first fraction. So, first thing always is get rid of fractions and brackets. Okay, so this first one, it just gets rid of the bottom bit. Okay, so we're just left with 5. Next, we multiply it by the numerator, so it's 3 brackets x plus 2, close brackets. The bottom stays the same. And then the 2, we just times it by the brackets. Next, we need to multiply it by the other brackets. So we times both sides by, well, times everything by x minus 3. Remember, it's not just both sides, we've got times everything. So 5 times the... In fact, let's just give us a little bit more space. This is the problem, is I never leave myself enough space. So 5 brackets x minus 3 plus... And then this one just gets rid of that bottom bit, right? So it's just the top bit, the numerator. But this one has both. So x plus 2, x minus 3. Okay? Now we need to expand brackets. Remember, rule number 1, get rid of fractions. Rule number 2, get rid of brackets. Oh, so 5x minus 15 plus 3x plus 6 equals 2x. Oh no, got to expand. So let's expand the quadratic. So it's x squared plus 2 take away 3 would be minus x. And then that would be minus 6. And we've got to expand that as well. So 2x squared minus 2x minus 12. And then let's try and add the like terms on the left-hand side. So 5x plus 3x is 8x. Minus 15 plus 6, it will be minus 9. Okay, now next we need to extend our lines because we're running out of space here. So what have we got? We've got to add the 9 to both sides and minus the 8x from both sides, right? We can do 2 in one guy, why not? Get risky. Because if we get it equal to 0, then we can use the quadratic formula. Which we can use because we have a calculator. Woo! And it says give it to 1 decimal place, so chance I won't factorize properly. Where was I? So minus 3. Okay, so quadratic formula. In fact, we've already done that. And we could probably get rid of make that a little bit shorter and get rid of that. Give us some space. So quadratic formula says x equals minus b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac over 2a. Right. Okay. Now, whenever you substitute in, well, first of all, we need to work out what a, b, and c are, right? So a is the coefficient of the x squared. B is the coefficient of the x. Now be careful because B is the full thing, right? Minus 10. So A is 2, B is minus 10, and then C is just like the leftover number. So that's minus 3. Okay, so it will be minus. Now be careful on your calculator, put all negatives in brackets. It doesn't matter so much here, but this is the one that you will lose marks, because if you type in minus 10 squared on your calculator, it will do the 10 squared and then make it negative. But what we want is minus 10 squared, which is not minus 100, it is positive 100. Times 4 times 2 times minus 3, again in brackets. All of that over 2a, which should be just 4. So get my calculator, and I'm going to press the fraction button first, and I'm going to do negative brackets minus, negative brackets minus 10, and I'm going to press plus first of all, square root of brackets minus 10, close brackets, minus 4 times 2 times brackets minus 3, and then all of that, and then all of that, see, I forgot to put the fraction button first, but it doesn't matter. Bracket it and then divide by 4. Sweet. And I get the wrong answer. So why have I got the wrong answer? 4 times 2 times minus 3 divided by 4. Let's try it again. So what happens, isn't it? Okay, minus 10, close bracket, plus the square root of minus 10 brackets squared, minus 4 times 2 times brackets minus 3, close brackets, and then 2 times 2 at the bottom. Yeah, I get a much nicer looking answer. So I get 5.3. Try and make sure to write the actual full answers down, like to maybe 3 or 4 decimal places. It's always a good thing. Then on the calculator, okay, if you use the scroll button to go back to where that plus was and just delete it and put a negative to put a minus, right? So use the control buttons there to change that plus to a minus. It means you don't have to type it all out again. And we get minus 0.3. That's the quadratic formula, and you will need to know that if you're doing the higher. So we finish on grade 4, because I said I'd do this till 7, and I'm not feeling very well, so chances are, if I survive till 7 o'clock, I'm over the moon. Okay, so we go to grade 4, and it'll be our final question. Oh, okay, it might not be the final question, because what I'm going to do is I'm going to do another error interval again, because I'm convinced it will come up. Okay, we're going to do an error interval, not going to be a final question. What our final question will be is a horrible ratio question that's afterwards. Okay, so whenever you get a ratio question, okay, whenever you get an error interval question, draw a line. Step 1, draw a line. Okay, do it. Get a piece of paper now. I'm waiting. Get a piece of paper now and draw a line, right? Or mentally, or on your iPad, draw a line. Put the length that it's gone to in the middle, so 128. Okay? It says to the nearest millimeter. Okay. Next, what's the next one down it could have been? Well, the next one down it could have been is 127. What's the next one up it could have been? Well, 129, right? 129. Yeah, okay. Right. Get your piece of scissors, get your pair of scissors, and cut those in half, both of them. On the left-hand side, what's that number going to be? Well, it's halfway between 127 and 128. It'd be 127.5. Okay? On the right-hand side, what's that going to be? It's going to be 128.5. Never, ever say 128.49 recurring. Why? Come on, chat, tell me why. Why would you not write 128.49 recurring? Oh, let's see who wins, YouTube or TikTok. Why should you not write 128.49 recurring? Yeah, see, TikTok's on it. YouTube have like a 20-second more delay, maybe. I'll give YouTube like another few seconds. Oh no, YouTube just aren't on it. TikTok have won tonight. I thought YouTube were catching up, but they really haven't. TikTok are all over this. Yes, because it's the same thing. 128.49 recurring is the same thing as 128.5. Which one is easier to write? Which one is easier to use calculations with? 128.5. So our error interval will be 127.5 all the way to 128.5. Okay. Looking at the mark scheme, it says, oh, accept 128.49 recurring and 128.4999. Accept it, but why would you not write 128.5? It's easier. Just write it. Okay, let's see if there's a quick question. I'm going to do grade 1. I'm going to finish on grade 1. Always good. I want one of those grade 1 questions that has loads of different questions. Yeah, let's do this. Write 17% as a fraction, 17 over 100. Sweet. Is that right? Yeah, go for that. Write 140 minutes in hours and minutes, 60 minutes in an hour. Okay, so 1 hour is 60 minutes. How many 60s in 140? Well, 2 hours, right? Be 128, 120 even. Okay, how many left? 20. So it'd be 2 hours and 20 minutes. Okay, write these numbers in order of size. Whenever you're asked to do that, it's sometimes a lot easier to stack them. So put them one on top of the other. 0.5, 0.05. And then fill in the zeros. And then you're looking at the left-hand side. So the smallest one's going to be 0.05. That's gone. They're all 5 next. So we looked at the zeros. We've looked at the 5. What's next? Well, the 7 is out. So we're just looking at the middle 2 now. And we've got 7. So it'll be 0.5, 0.507, and then 0.57. Sweet. What's the mathematical name of this polygon? This is going to be a last question for tonight. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6, 6, 6. The X is the X in hexagon. There we are. See, a load of you are going to get a mark tomorrow because the question will say, what is this shape called? And you'll write hexagon because you've remembered that the X in 6 is the X in hexagon. Thank you very much for joining me. This has been an amazing 2 hours. I've got my dinner now, which is nice. But all the best of luck for tomorrow to YouTube and TikTok. This has been amazing. This has been way, way better than last week. YouTube have been on it. They've been all right. TikTok, wow. You guys are on it. And so I wish you all the best of luck for tomorrow. We're going to be doing the same thing maybe between now and next Tuesday. But your next exam is a week from tomorrow. So we're going to be here on Tuesday. The link will be on our onmaths.com homepage for the YouTube one. For the TikTok, you're going to have to find us. So we'll see you then, and all the best of luck. Let me know how it went. Find one of my videos on maths and leave a comment and let me know how much of the stuff we've gone through tonight came up. But otherwise, thank you so much and good luck. Fingers crossed. And now I need to try and work out how to stop